and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on your Ag Information Station, WTIM.
WTIM.
Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show. It's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining me in this segment, I've got Gwen Podesky, and I have got Kathy Knope, Master Gardeners with the University of Illinois Extension. Good morning to the both of you. How are we?
We're just great.
Yeah, great.
Glad to see you guys back around here today. Last month, I believe it was Linda and Sandy, and so now this month around, we've got Kathy and we have got Gwen to tell us a little bit about something upcoming, National Pollinator Week, the 16th through the 22nd. Obviously very important to gardens and everybody in between. But what about National Pollinator Week do we want to highlight and talk about here today?
Well, I think we just want to probably highlight planting for pollinators and planting throughout the season for pollinators, because, you know, we all know the story of the monarch going to the Mexican.
Yeah, they go clear down the
Mexico.
Mexican. So they need nectar.
There's always a need. You know, lots of hummingbirds. My brother feeds hummingbirds, and I was at his house yesterday, and it zoomed past my head when a hummingbird.
Oh.
So they're out and about, and I've seen several in my garden. Coral bells are popular for them right now, and also some of the wild columbine or native columbine are also.
Yeah, they like that. Anything open.
There are things that you can plant for pollinators, and it's funny how pollinators work. I don't know if you've observed this, Kathy, but I have flowering alliums. Honeybees like them. Now, I don't know how good the honey will be, because those are onions. And but the Baptisia were bumblebees.
Yeah, because they're native.
Right.
It's native.
Right. And so those are, it's just interesting, the different bees that go to different flowers. And and it's kind of fun to watch. I mean, and I haven't seen many butterflies this spring.
I haven't either.
But I did have a zebra swallowtail.
Oh, I love those. Those are so pretty.
Yeah, those were they're a brown and ivory stripe, and you might think it's a tiger swallowtail, but then you realize it's a little bit different. So, yeah. So, you know, given that we're not seeing many butterflies, I would say plant more, you know, put a row of zinnias by your vegetable garden. It will help your vegetables get pollinated, because there'll be, you know, pollinators
close by, like the butterflies or whatever. They like the nectar of the, when it's open like that. Any open flower, the bees and the pollinators, like the butterflies, will go to it because it's open.
A little easier access for them to just go dive into it. I hadn't actually thought about the fact that I've really not seen butterflies this year.
No, a real odd thing is I have an Itea, Virginia sweet spire, and that is usually, you will see a mob of silver spotted skipper butterflies on that. And I didn't see one. Now, there were a lot of bees on it, but I didn't see one. And another plant, speaking of taking it on through the season, I have summer sweet clethra, and that's something that I see a lot of the solitary wasps and things will visit that through the summer. It blooms probably late June to late July. At some point.
So it's in the middle.
Yeah.
And another
so it's a nice bridge plant.
Another interesting piece you'd mentioned there was like actually watching what they want, you know, if different types of bees or different types of butterflies, what they gravitate towards.
Right. Well, and it's funny how they say that of course, these insects see in spectrums of color that we don't have any idea about. Yeah. But like, is it red is more hummingbirds, but that's also more bees, and too. Then purple or blue is it the other way?
I know it's red.
Right. So red, blue, and purple. And of course, there are things like native coneflower, black-eyed Susans. Those are all those disc flowers will bring those guys in.
Did not realize that, you know, I mean, you have a preference maybe in terms of what color your food looks like. So it kind of makes sense. Never thought about that. And so interesting that during National Pollinator Week, I've learned a few things here today, and then thought about something. I truly don't know if I've even seen a single butterfly hardly.
I've seen a couple of blue azures, and I saw that.
Okay, did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a couple of blue azures, but I usually see them. I mean, on the upside, I haven't seen any cabbage.
Cabbage worms?
Right.
And
Cabbage
cabbage-
worm
Knock
moths.
on wood,
Moths,
maybe.
So I'm not real disappointed about that. But
Yeah. But it's interesting how those things cycle kind of
Mhm.
too. And hopefully
Mhm.
maybe we're just on a down year. Maybe next year we'll see
Right. Right.
a much
Yeah.
bigger boost to that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about native plants. Obviously, you mentioned, hey, let's get a row of those outside of the garden or near the
Mhm.
garden to help our pollinators, but it also helps your garden in turn too. Why should folks maybe turn to native plants or look into native plant species to have around their garden or in their yards?
Well, for one thing, they will tend to draw the
Like-
native pollinators.
Yeah, which is native bees, like the bumblebee.
Some of the
Some of the
solitary bees, the
solitary bees,
they call them Hoover flies.
The
My
Hoover
grandma
flies.
called them corn bees when we
Oh,
were little.
just
They
corn
kind of
bees.
just hang there. They never do anything. They
No,
just
they
hang
just
there
hang
and
there
kind of
and-
irritate you, but
Yeah.
but they don't really
Yeah.
like bite or
No,
anything.
they
Don't
don't
even
bite.
really land.
Hmm.
So there are all those kinds of and the vast majority is my understanding. The vast majority of native bees are solitary bees.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not
solitary.
hive bees.
No.
So you don't have a hive of
Mm-mm,
honeybees
you don't have a
even,
hive.
or a
They're-
hive of,
Nope.
excuse me, bumblebees. Bumblebees are a solitary bee. They
Yep.
do not go to a hive.
Yep.
Honeybees do. Hornets do. Some wasps
Some
have.
wasps,
Some
it
paper
depends.
wasps
Yeah.
will. So, but
Never thought about that quite either. Actually, you see bumblebees, but I
Yeah.
always kind of figured
Yeah.
maybe they
And
just went to
another-
a certain place.
right.
But
And
Yeah.
another fun solitary native bee is the cicada killer.
Oh yeah, I'd like it.
That's like it's like you're being dive bombed, you know. It's like a drone attack.
Mhm.
I watched one day. I watched one drop with a cicada one day, and I was like, wow, that I
That's
didn't know
awesome.
what
Yeah.
was hitting the ground.
nature is something.
Uh-huh.
That's for sure. Any species or any plants that you might recommend, like something that's easy upkeep that does draw in those native pollinators?
Well, it depends on
The coneflowers.
The coneflowers are
and
easy to
black-eyed
grow, very
Susans.
easy to
Yeah,
grow,
and
so
black-eyed
are
Susans.
black-eyed Susans, and in the late season, which is late spring, late fall, new England asters are
Mhm.
sweet asters.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of a thug itself, Joe Pyeweed, but Joe Pyeweed will
Yeah,
draw
Joe
a
Pye
lot
will
of
last a long time.
late butterflies, early butterflies, and bees especially, the
Mhm.
Baptisias, and that is a native. There are
Tons.
hybrids of Baptisias, and I can't really see a reduction. Sometimes they say some of the hybrids don't draw the
Yeah,
pollinators in as much, but I don't really see a reduction
Hmm.
in how many bees visit my hybrids as opposed to the two
Yeah,
natural
and-
ones I have.
and cardinal flowers, the
Can be
hummingbirds
good, right?
like.
Right. Oh, and bee balm.
Oh,
Let's not
bee balm.
forget
Oh,
bee balm.
Bee balm. That's a good
Bee
one.
balm's kind of had a time though. I've lost all mine.
You did.
I've had a couple of other people, and I don't know if it's just
the weather.
been the weather or what. But bee balm is hybridized from a native Monarda,
Yeah.
and Monarda fistula, I believe, is the name of it, and it's kind of a lavender flower. And
It attracts a lot of
right.
everything.
I have royal catchfly,
yeah, that's
which
a good one
is
too.
a good one, especially for hummingbirds. But it's a little bit. I mean, I have great luck with it, but some
It's-
folks
it's
have a hard
picky.
time growing it.
Yeah.
So plenty of different options.
Lots of options,
Lots of
kind of the full color spectrum, really,
Mhm.
for natives, and some degree of if you can get a lead plant to grow, if you've got a sunny spot, a lead plant
Yeah,
is a
that's how it
shrub
goes.
of prairie shrubs. So,
Yep.
What's the best way to get my hands on some of those native plants, though?
Kathy, you do some ordering from Prairie Moon.
Prairie Moon's a good one. That's a really
Is it
good one.
Select Seeds? No, am I thinking of something else?
I'm part of the Native Plant Society, so when they have their plant sale,
Oh,
that's
definitely.
that's what I know, and because I
Right.
can get, and Prairie Moon's another one that gets really good qualities.
Yeah, and definitely keep that. I think it's the second week.
it's
of
the second
May.
weekend of May. Yeah.
up at the fairgrounds on your calendar, because I mean, and it's like, you better be there before 10 o'clock or you're
Yeah.
not going to get anything.
You're not going to
at
get
all.
anything. They line up
So,
at 7:30 in
yeah.
the morning
Man.
for 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
it's
awesome.
real big.
Yeah.
It's real big. And they have true natives.
Right. And
So-
they will have things like, we've forgotten to mention the milkweed, which is,
Oh, yeah. The milkweed, which is really
milkweed
important.
is important to butterfly
Yeah.
and to monarchs. And that really is all milkweeds. If it's
Yeah.
whorled, if it's the butterfly
Like
weed, the
weed.
orange one, if it's the tall or
Tall,
the common,
Yeah.
all of them are going to
Common milkweed. They'll all
attract.
attract it. Yeah.
will attract.
So
those.
there are a few different ways, but maybe the best way would be the Native Plant Society has a
Yep.
sale the second weekend in May at the
Right, and
state
just
fairgrounds.
yes,
Yeah.
and just keep it on your calendar, because they will always do it. Or join the Native Plant Society. Go online and get onto their website. Illinois Native Plant Society Central Chapter.
Central Chapter.
Join the Native Plant
Yeah,
Society.
because you'll learn a lot. That's what I'm
Sure.
trying to learn.
Yeah, they
still.
did a great presentation at the Collinsville Gateway Green Conference. A group that have planted duck blinds along a pond out by
Mhm.
First United Methodist Church Springfield
Okay.
to sort of keep the geese from coming up onto the sidewalk. And
doing their
so
thing.
it was but I mean, like I said, they're a
Yeah,
really
those are-
great organization. Almost all the meetings have fantastic
They have
programs,
really good
very
programs
informative
all around.
programs. So join the Native Plant Society.
And I would
It's-
love to see more native plants be utilized for
Yes,
not
yes.
only the pollinators, but
Yeah,
for
and
our
I
gardens
think
ourselves.
also maybe Lincoln Memorial Gardens in Springfield.
they have
also
another
still
one.
have. They still have.
Yeah, they still
They
got
used
that.
to have 2. I don't know if they still have 2.
They have
but
the
they've-
spring and a regular.
Yeah, and a reg.
natives.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so Lincoln Memorial Gardens is another place to watch out for. Then they will have,
Yeah, they'll
and
have,
a lot of them access Prairie Moon actually for
Yeah.
for a lot of their plants.
Yeah.
so there are plenty of ways to
And
get your
There
3B.
are
hands.
ways to get your hands on them, and
Yeah.
look in the nurseries. There are some tags that will say these are natives,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
do a
well,
little
3B is another
research.
one.
Which one?
3B, it's a new one.
Oh, where's that at?
I think it's around, I say Petersburg,
Okay.
down that area.
3B,
3B.
as in boy. Okay.
So
It's a new
do your research, but there are places for you to be able
Yeah.
to get your hands on them. So
There you
native plants, in a conversation that kind of started with our National Pollinator Week coming up from the 16th through the 22nd as well. Well, I am joined by Master Gardeners with the University of Illinois Extension. I have Gwen Podesky and I have Kathy Knope joining us here in studio. We'll come back around and we'll talk more with them when we return. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM.
This is Leah Stuckmeyer with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Not all hearing aids deliver on their promises. I'm Crystal Baker, owner of Specialized Hearing Solutions in Taylorville. With a decade of experience, I've seen firsthand how many advertisements can be misleading. My commitment is to educate you on the best options tailored to your unique hearing needs. I offer complimentary hearing exams to help you or your loved one discover the ideal solution. Call today at 824-0411 to schedule your appointment. Let Specialized Hearing Solutions in Taylorville help you rediscover the sounds of life. Go Tornadoes.
This is Bill Pinkston, General Sales Manager at Landmark of Taylorville. We are celebrating springtime with unbelievable discounts. Right now, you can get employee pricing on most of our new in-stock models. You pay what we pay on our award-winning Chevy, Buick, and GMC lineups. Plus, with over 400 pre-owned vehicles in our family dealerships and our lifetime powertrain warranty, why would you buy anywhere else? Have a vehicle you want to sell? Bring it by for a quick, no-hassle appraisal. All roads lead to Landmark of Taylorville, where you can save thousands with employee pricing. And remember,
You always do better at Landmark. Local, local, local. For 29 years, Just Beds has been your local mattress store. For 29 years, featuring locally made Bemco mattresses like Arctic Breeze and Max Life. That's a lot of local helping local. And all this month at Just Beds, you'll save big on Bemco. Twin mattresses for $149. Queen mattresses just $229. As always, free delivery, setup, and haul away locally. Thank you for supporting Just Beds for 29 years. Keep buying local, friends. See the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds on Montvale in Springfield.
Just Beds.
Promoting student success is our priority at Taylorville Schools. This is Superintendent Brandy Bruley with an invitation to discover the exceptional achievements of our students and staff during our monthly Taylorville Schools Good News segment. Join us the first Thursday of every month at 8:40 on the WTIM Morning Show on air, on the WTIM audio stream, and the WTIM video stream on Facebook and YouTube TV. Students, teachers, and administrators will share how we're fostering student excellence each day. Tune into the WTIM Morning Show for our Good News segment, and go Tornadoes.
I'm Peyton Langen, Mental Health Case Manager at Christian County Health Department. If you need help finding local resources when life gets overwhelming, my services are completely free. Learn more by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com, and don't face these challenges alone.
Here's Dr. Pavi Gill from Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
Lifestyle medicine is about motivating you to improve your quality of life by changing habits and behaviors.
Find out more by clicking Dr. Gill's icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and we're back around with Master Gardeners with the University of Illinois Extension, Gwen Podesky and Kathy Knope. The morning show is brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. We talked National Pollinator Week, and we also touched on some native species and plants to have in and around your garden. Let's turn to the farmers market here. You guys are out there regularly every other week or so, and the farmers market this year no different. What are we wanting to highlight there?
We're just the big orange tent. Be sure to look for, there is another orange tent out there. I forget who has it, but there is another orange tent. But this one will say University of Illinois Extension. And usually Mike Haiti is the captain of that team. And he gets it set up pretty religiously. I visited last week. The last time they were there, and there was a woman who stopped by asking about wanting to take some cuttings and how to do that for a rhododendron that had some special significance to her. So it's a great opportunity for people to ask their gardening questions or just kind of, and maybe think about pick up a flyer and join the Master Gardeners.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be great.
And another way to be involved with you guys or get those answers to some questions that I might have would be your help desk that you have regularly as well.
Yeah. So we've kind of had a light season. So let's get some folks calling that help desk. It's 9 to 11 on Thursdays and every Thursday. And a Master Gardener will be there to take your call, or you can visit the office at 1120 North Webster and
ask them.
Bring in your samples. Try to put them in a Ziploc bag so they stay looking like they were when you
when you got them.
Thought you had a problem with something. And come in and visit. Come in and visit or give us a call.
And let somebody else try and help you along that.
Right. And that number is 217-287-7246.
7246. So that is the farmers market and the help desk as well. You've got another workshop coming up as well. This time, not about native species, but some invasive ones.
Yes, about the flip side. The bad side. So there's an invasive species management course that's going to be offered this August. There's an online portion of the program on August 5th from 9 to 4:30. So that's probably going to be a pretty intensive day of study. And then there's the field course will be from 10 to 3 on August 8th and will include lunch. And there's a $20 fee to do that.
So starting at the beginning of August 5th, you've gotten more of a classroom setting.
Right. But it's online. So it will be, you could do it from home. Right.
And then a field course day 3 days later on the 8th, if I remember right. Perfect. So that's a look at that invasive species workshop. And we'll have more on that coming up in the next month or so as well. And we got about a minute here. all the rain. We talked about the weather. What's
Yep.
it looking like on our garden here with about 30 seconds?
You got cool weather and your vegetables are slow to get started. So
Yes.
I would say give them a little
A little
extra
time.
fertilizer and give them
Yeah.
some time. So
Because tomatoes and all, and like tomatoes and green
squash
peppers and
cucumbers,
squash,
they-
they're all warm weather. You know,
yeah, I
they're
finally
not
had one
doing-
pepper that was still below the can I put up for rabbits.
Oh.
Show up. I thought, oh, there it is.
It's almost there.
So yeah, it's really been an odd spring. So
Yeah.
keep your mower blades sharp. I think you're
Yes.
going to need them for a while.
Mhm.
And be patient with the vegetables because they're a little slow to get going.
Yep.
And they will get going eventually,
will
and you
get
will have an
going.
abundance of
Right,
tomatoes. and
exactly.
other
You'll
things.
be putting tomatoes on your neighbor's porch at midnight.
Yes.
Hiding different plants and vegetables elsewhere. I appreciate you guys stopping in to tell us about National Pollinator Week. I learned a few things from that as well. And so
Good.
hopefully
Great.
listeners out there did
Great.
too. Gwen Podesky and Kathy Canope, Master Gardeners with the University of Illinois Extension, here on the morning show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Downtown Los Angeles has been declared an unlawful assembly